Two men died after hair transplant here in India in May 2025. Yes, you heard that right.
जो बोला वो किया, but then it didn't work out. I was losing my old hair, I was losing the transplanted hair also.
Are you someone who's tried hair oils, PRP, hair supplements, putting fiber on your scalp to cover that hair loss area? Now, if you're someone who gets scared of surgeries, needles, let's be honest, hair transplant is a surgical procedure. It involves anesthesia, hundreds of tiny punches in FUE method, and could be a little painful. You need to ask one simple question: are you the right candidate for a hair transplant? Well, in the next few minutes, I'll break down 10 reasons why hair transplant may not be the right option for you. Two men died after hair transplant here in India in May 2025. Yes, you heard that right. But this video isn't about fear, it's about truth. Before you let someone cut open your scalp, spend those 2-3 lakhs on your surgery, you need to ask one simple question: are you the right candidate for a hair transplant? Are you someone who's tried hair oils, PRP, hair supplements? Maybe putting fiber on your scalp to cover that hair loss area? Well, if that sounds like you, this video is going to be very important for you. Well, people who've come to our channel for the first time, let me introduce myself. I'm Vinitt. I'm the founder of American Hairline, the only expert in India who has worked extensively in both hair transplant and non-surgical hair systems. We've helped more than 6,700 men here in India to choose the right option for them. Not based on hype or fear, but on facts, logic, and what actually works for you. Over a period of time, I've actually seen what works, what doesn't work, and what's at times oversold. My job isn't here to sell a procedure. It's to help you to make the right decision for your hair, your confidence, and your future. Well, in the next few minutes, I'll break down 10 reasons why hair transplant may not be the right option for you. Starting with the one that most people ignore: fear of surgery. Now, if you're someone who gets scared of surgeries, needles, let's be honest, hair transplant is a surgical procedure. It involves anesthesia, hundreds of tiny punches in FUE method, and could be a little painful. Now, if you're somebody who fears surgery or probably doesn't want to go through that pain, hair transplant would not be the right option for you. But what if you already have a planned big event and want immediate results? Let me tell you, a transplant takes months to grow out and it does take time. So if you want immediate results, and if you're considering that hair transplant surgery because you feel that you'll get instantly a head full of hair transplant may not be the right option for you. Now let's understand the next point. What if your body is just not built for hair transplant? Well, your health plays a bigger role than you think. Conditions like diabetes, thyroid, heart issues, and poor healing affect graft survival. You may experience slower recovery, infection risk, or even poor growth post-surgery. These factors must be discussed in depth because most clinics ignore it. But your hair keeps falling after the transplant. Well, let me explain this. Hair transplant does not stop hair loss. It's just moving those strands from one area to another. Which means that if you have hair loss, the hair transplanted hair will not fall, but your existing hair will continue to fall. Now, no matter what treatment you do, maybe like a PRP, you use Finpacia, Finex, but the fact is that all these medicines will slow down the process, but your hair will fall. Which means that even after you do the transplant, your hair will fall and the area will again look thin, and you will feel that the transplant hasn't worked. Well, for the next point, let's assume that you're all healthy, but what if your donor's area is weak? Now, let me explain this. Donor's area is the area where the roots are extracted, the follicles are extracted. Now, if your donor's area is weak on the sides and the back, in such case, you will not see a successful hair transplant because, like I explained in the previous point, that it is only moving those follicles from one area to another. Now, 2 points. One, your area at the back will look thinner and it will not be able to cover that big area of hair loss, which means that even after the transplant, put those strands, it will still look relatively thin. So if your donor's area is weak, I don't think transplant could be a right option. Yes, probably you can do a front hairline transplant, but I wouldn't suggest the entire hair loss area because you won't see desired results. But let's assume your donor's area is good, but you're someone who has unrealistic expectation. Let's say a lot of patients come to us and they say that I want head full of hair, they want good amount of density. Now in such cases, you'll be disappointed. Why? Because transplant usually is a great option to cover those hair loss areas, but to get that extra volume, a hair system obviously is a better option, but definitely not a hair transplant. Let's go to the next segment. Now, let's say if you're below the age of 25 and you see excessive hair loss, I would not suggest a hair transplant. If you fix your hairline as 22, 23, understand one thing, that you will have hair loss in future as well. Now, the transplanted hair may not fall, but your existing hair will fall. So in such cases, what we suggest is wait till 25, analyze that hair loss, and then take a call. Well, the next category would be medical conditions like alopecia areata or scarring alopecia. Well, in such cases, hair transplant don't work, because even if you do the transplant, because of that alopecia, it may fall again. So there's a big no if you have alopecia. There's one last thing that most men ignore. You already done a transplant and you're still losing hair. Second transplants are becoming common, but are they really wise? Most men don't realize that hair will continue to thin after the first hair transplant. Now, to fix the patchiness, they will go for round 2 or 3 until the donor area runs out. It becomes a cycle of chasing hair loss. Again, I suggest that do not get into multiple sessions of surgeries. It's always better to have a front hairline transplant, and at the back, we suggest a hair system. With this, the hairline looks beautiful, it looks extremely natural, and at the back, we wear the hair system to give you that enough volume, which blends seamlessly with your natural hair. Well, the last question you need to ask yourself, even if you're physically fit, are you mentally ready for a hair transplant? The hardest part of the transplant is not when you go through the surgery, it's months later. You might lose hair before the regrowth starts. You'll have to wait for around 8 to 12 months till the hair grows out. If you're impatient, anxious, and emotionally sensitive, this phase can hit hard. Well, my job is to tell you what are the pros and cons of each option, and then you got to take that call. Well, I think I've covered most of the points, but any of these points resonate with you, then you should definitely rethink and figure out that are you the right candidate for hair transplant. Well, if you need any technical information about the hair transplant to understand are you the right candidate for a hair transplant, or are you the candidate for a hair system, or you need a combination of a transplant and a hair system, you can contact us on the number given below and we'll be happy to help you. Thank you so much, and please subscribe to American Hairline, and please share this video with someone who may benefit with this video. Thank you so much.